We'd like to invite you to watch English news on the Central Television channel of Đồng Nai Province. From September the 22nd to the 26th, Treasury Secretary and President Tolam will attend the 79th session of the United Nations General Assembly and then pay a state visit to Cuba. According to the announcement of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, from September 22nd to the 26th, Treasury Secretary of the Central Committee of the Communist Party of Vietnam, President of the Socialist Republic of Vietnam Tolam, and his wife, along with a high-ranking Vietnamese delegation, will attend the future summit, the 79th session of the United Nations General Assembly, work in the United States, and then pay a state visit to Cuba at the invitation of First Secretary of the Central Committee of the Communist Party of Cuba, President of the Republic of Cuba, Miguel Diaz-Canel Bermudez, and his wife. The strong recovery of production and export has led to an increase in demand for imported machinery, equipment, and raw materials for domestic production. So our country's imports in the first 8 months of 2024 from most key markets increased. According to statistics from the Import-Export Department, Ministry of Industry and Trade, in first 8 months of 2024, there were 38 imported goods worth over $1 billion, accounting for 90.8% of total import turnover. Notably, the group of goods requiring import includes machinery, equipment, tools, spare parts, and raw materials for domestic production, accounting for nearly 89% of total import turnover, reaching $218.9 billion, up 18.7% over the same period in 2023. According to economic experts, the sharp increase in imports of equipment and inputs for production is a positive signal for the economy. This shows that market demand has increased again, domestic production and consumption have increased, and many new export orders have been signed. Yesterday, Standing Deputy Secretary of Đồng Nai Provincial Party Committee Ho Thanh Sơn chaired the mass mobilization block meeting for the third quarter of 2024. In the third quarter of 2024, mass mobilization agencies will continue to review and evaluate the implementation targets of the resolution of the 11th Đồng Nai Provincial Party Congress on mass mobilization work, continuing to implement social security policies and improve people's lives. However, people are still concerned, worried, and reflect on environmental pollution, the increasing number of scams on social networks, the progress of soil clearance, and the severe consequences of Storm Number 3 in many northern provinces and cities. Standing Deputy Secretary of the Provincial Party Committee Ho Thanh Sơn suggested that in the fourth quarter, local levels and sectors in Đồng Nai Province continue to strengthen their grasp of the people's situation, continue to promote the emulation movement of skillful mass mobilization. The mobilization of mass mobilization work must be substantial and effective. Lebanon's mission to the United Nations presented a letter to the UN Security Council yesterday, saying initial investigations showed that the portable devices that exploded this week had been implanted with explosives before being brought into the country. The letter, seen by international media, said the targeted devices were professionally booby-trapped before arriving in Lebanon and were detonated when they received an email, blaming Israel for the attacks. It called for an emergency UN Security Council meeting scheduled for today to discuss the blast. Lebanese Foreign Minister Abdallah Habi will attend. Patriot and walkie-talkies used by Hezbollah exploded over 2 days, killing 37 people and injuring nearly 3,000. The explosions, which took place in supermarkets, on the streets and at funerals, have sent Lebanon into panic. In a related development, Bulgaria's security service said it was investigating Northern Global after media in Bulgaria and Hungary reported that the Soviet-based company has sold the devices to Hezbollah. Yesterday, new French Prime Minister Michel Barnier presented his cabinet list to President Emmanuel Macron after months of political deadlock. Prime Minister Barnier's cabinet consists of 38 ministers, including 7 from President Macron's Renaissance Party and 3 from the new Prime Minister's right-wing The Republicans. There is no information yet on the number of members of the left-wing parties which won the election in July. The meeting between President Macron and new Prime Minister Barnier to present his cabinet list comes after 2 weeks of consultations with the parties to form a balanced government. You've just watched English news on the Essential Television channel of Đồng Nai Province. Thank you for joining us and goodbye.